Welcome to TechWire, a conversation about government, politics, and technology. My name is Christina Gagnier, and today I'm joined at the CIO Academy by Kristin Russell, who's the head of digital government strategy for Deloitte. Kristin, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
I think an appropriate place to start is that you were formerly the CIO of the state of Colorado, and you've had many leadership positions in both the public and private sector. Maybe just discuss some of those experiences.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of being appointed Secretary of Technology and Chief Information Officer for the state of Colorado under Governor Hickenlooper. And in that role, I had really two hats that I wore. One was as Secretary of Technology, I was responsible actually for the IT economic development strategy for the state. So how did we attract new tech companies and tech workers to the state? But then also, as the Chief Information Officer, I was responsible for all of the IT systems across the state, about 1,200 so applications and critical services, providing support to Coloradans. And what's unique about Colorado is Colorado actually passed legislation in 2008 to consolidate all of IT. So unlike many states where each division or department has a CIO, in Colorado, I actually was the only state CIO, being responsible for everything from DMV to Medicaid to fish and wildlife systems.
So today the focus is workforce development, and not in the traditional sense that we often talk about it here in California, but more so transitioning that millennial workforce to become the next generation of IT leaders here in California. I understand that you just spoke on a panel a few moments ago. Maybe discuss, what was your focus?
Yeah, so I think it's a fascinating topic. Actually, Deloitte is coming out with their new tech trends report that looks out into the future of things that we're seeing in the market. And this concept of the IT worker of the future and how to engage them with millennials is just so fascinating to me, because by this year, actually, 50% of the workforce will be millennial. And these are digital native workers that are used to engaging with their company and their communities and even their government in a much more mobile, social, and cloud-based manner. And I think that there's a huge opportunity for public sector, because many of these people actually have said that they're interested in working in public sector fields. And so the opportunity is for us to really harness that talent that's coming into the market and use those creative young minds to be able to transform government and really reimagine the future of government through a millennial's eyes.
So in your new role, you're probably seeing a lot of different large-scale government IT projects. We've had several discussions today about CalCloud, which has impacted many departments, local and statewide. It'd be great to get your perspective on that program and others that are really revolutionizing how California does business.
Yeah, so I'm passionate about this concept of government being able to almost leapfrog where technology is now at. I mean, in some cases, government and public sector is so far behind that we now can really utilize technologies that previously were not available. And cloud is one of them. And cloud makes a lot of sense for government. And when I was Secretary of Technology and CIO for Colorado, one of the first things that I did was actually to establish a cloud-first policy. And I think what the City of California is doing with CalCloud is a great example of that. That it's no longer the question of whether we're going to go to the cloud or whether we're going to use cloud, it's where and when and how. And so setting up different cloud models that our customers and the agencies and our clients from a Deloitte standpoint can realize in a very short time period is so important for government. And that's important because ultimately it allows us to deliver services in the omni-channel way and method that citizens and constituents are expecting.
So you referenced Deloitte's Digital Trends report at TechWire. We're very interested in what's happening next. So what are some of those things we should be looking for on the horizon?
Yeah, so there's a whole concept around how we're working with clients to look at their business from a citizen-centric standpoint. And what I'm really passionate about in leading our digital government strategy is how we can develop tools and technologies that historically have been developed in a very siloed transaction model, and how do we actually transform that so that we put the citizen in the center and think about what they need. So we have amazing people at Deloitte that do what's called journey mapping, and it really starts to get back to the end user and designing the system from what they're trying to do versus the transaction. So having a baby, getting a job, opening a business, getting a parking permit, all of those life events, if we can help governments really change the paradigm and create systems that are designed from the outside in versus the inside out, it allows for incredible user experience for the citizen standpoint so that they could pull out their mobile device and update their address or renew their driver's license through their mobile device or get a text alert when their business license is up for renewal. That's the power of what we can do through digital government.
Well, Kristin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much. It was great to speak with you today.
And thank you to our audience for once again joining us in a conversation about government, politics, and technology.